All right, thank you for staying with us. We're getting to the tail end of this conversation on the Women's Conference, 21st Century Challenges and Opportunities for both the men and women. Pastor Chris and myself are vastly outnumbered, but it's their day, so they'll tell us what they think. Let's talk about singlehood in church. People come up and say that time yako imefika, and then you start getting the pressure to do it. Some people suggest that you should see so and so. Kuna sister Nania kwa hapa, kuna brother Nania kwa hapa. How do you handle that sort of pressure, Reverend? Because it's undue pressure on the population. Some of them even decide not to come to church at all. Yeah.
It's a challenge that is there. It's a challenge which is in church. And it's very important that people are allowed to make decisions at a point when they feel ready to marry. Because what happens if there's a lot of pressure put, you end up hooking up with someone who you did not, love, and you even felt, I'm not compatible with this person. And then over time you realize now things like violence come in, there's a lot of challenges that come up in such kind of marriage leading to divorce. And therefore, in as much as it is important to create the conducive environment for single men, single women to mingle, but let's not put undue pressure. Let's create platforms where they can meet, they can come together. Yeah. And I would say I've seen congregations where they do breakfast meetings for single men, single women, and allow them to mingle so that at the end of the day, this person is making an informed decision. Yeah. And that is what we should be doing. So in this conference, what will be your message to them? Because I know there's a segment where we're going to talk about singlehood. Yes. Our message would be, one, that there's that platform that is already created, that young girls, young men can mingle and be able to move on with life. Yeah. But again, also to tell them that, the buck stops with them. Issues around family. If you get into it when you're not ready, or you're feeling you want to fulfill a societal expectation, you will never get fulfilled. In marriage, there's need for commitment, there's need for decision making, and you need to be ready to face it. And therefore, we'll be talking a lot during the conference and encouraging the young women in church who are single, that they wait until such a time when they are ready. But again, we are creating the platforms where they can mingle. Christine, does this readiness come with age limit to it?
I don't think so. Being a person that's currently experiencing that, both from the family and also from the church at some point, what I'd like to mention is that marriage or getting married and having children is not the ultimate finish line. We are not in this world, as I had mentioned earlier, to just get married and give birth. Yeah. We are in this world to fulfill a mission. So once you start pressuring someone so much to finish, and then the ultimate, consider, especially talking from a church perspective, our ultimate goal is heaven. We are all born again, we aspire at some point we'll get to heaven. So marriage is just something that will come. It's like an added bonus that come to us just to enjoy life while we are here. Yeah. So what I'd like to mention is that really it's not worth it to pressure someone, push me into a relationship just to please you, and then I end up going back, or I end up having my life ruined just because I wanted to please someone. Okay. It's not totally worth it. The other thing I'd like to mention is about being single, feeling as if now you're half human because you're single. Consider God made us all in his own image. So I am a complete human as I am right now, even as I am single. And then when I get married, then we'll just be complementing each other. He's a complete person, so I'm not coming into someone's life to complete them. They're not coming into my life to complete me. We are coming together to complement each other. What I can do, you'll support me through it. What your mandate is, I'll support you in fulfilling that. So that then we are both happy. We are both fulfilling our individual mandates, and then at the same time enjoying life together. So that's my perception about singlehood. Carol, you're not even supposed to be wading into this conversation, but we'll bring you in, because the reality is there are teenagers who are actually in relationships even as we speak. What will be your message to them?
Actually, I have a question. Like, at this time, why in a relationship? What do you even know about dating to start with? Yeah, so it's something I wouldn't advise at this time when you don't even know what you're doing in that relationship at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So should you have this conversation with your parents or your church leaders or all of them combined?
Yeah, we need to have it so that we get to a point when we know, but before we're getting into that, we know what you are getting into.
Yeah.
We need this conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. What did you say, Rhoda?
Right now, professionals, they're taking all the time, first of all, to finish education and get this big job. Then that's the time they will start thinking about getting married. So it's also good to educate them, because marriage is ordained by God. And it is good for each one of us to get married. We educate them and tell them, as much as in they are working or they are getting the big money, big job, they should also think about marriage. And you know, they should not be so selective.
Yeah.
I don't want to get married to this man because he's earning lower than I am, because there will be some delays. Maybe this man who is earning less than you are earning, he is your man. And who knows, maybe after you get married, he will maybe get more pay than you are. So in the church setup, we should have these forums whereby as parents we can talk to them, both the boys and the girls. We sit with them, we listen to them, and we answer those questions. And I know, like for example, these young ones, if we start with these young ones, as they grow to reach where Christine is, they will be thinking, yes, I need a man. And no matter the position I am, no matter the situation I am, I need a man in my life. Men are very special. Ask me and I will tell you. I had one.
And you'll have a very
special.
interesting conversation, because you'll also be speaking to the widows.
Yes.
So there's the singlehood before ever having gotten married, and then there's the singlehood after your spouse passes on.
The singlehood after marriage,
yes,
it is not the best. It is the worst. Let me tell you guys, it is the worst. I was there married, happily married. But when I lost him, my life changed. And it's like now the surrounding, it's like I became a threat even to the community. Friends start running away from you. And then you start asking yourself, oh, what have I done? What sin have I committed? And then also the in-laws, they start also chasing you from their family. Single mothers, those who have lost their spouses, they are going also through tough times. Single parents who have, some have separated, single parents who have also have kids. They've never been married, but they have kids. They are in the church, but they are going through trauma, because in the church, is not taking this department, like when you say the couples meeting, the youth, you know, it's like the single parents, they are left somewhere.
They feel secluded now.
Yes, and you will find out of 100, you will find maybe 1% in the church. All the churches, maybe in Kenya, it's only 1% of the church who are taking care of the single parents. Yeah, the widows, all of them. Yes.
Rachel, what is your word of advice for single people, the ones you'll be dealing with? Because I'm assuming you'll have a session on that as well.
Yes. What I'd like to say, Trevor, even in the Bible, it says it is not good for man to be alone. So that is why God created the woman. But even before we reach to that, being a wife, singlehood does not mean that it's like a stigma. It's okay to be single. I'm even telling the parents, like how I was brought up, my mom made me feel that, sio vibaya ukiwa single, your time will come. Because some of us rush into it because you're seeing, oh my God, my friend got married. Alafu, there are so many committees nowadays. Committee anani anani, committee anani anani. So I'm like, Kai, see, tulimalizana high school the other day. She's getting married and I'm not getting married. So it is not wrong, or it is not even bad to be single, but you have to get there first. Don't rush into relationships because you're thinking time is flying. Nafika 30. bado sija get married. Beshte yangu ako 26, akona twins, na mimi nafanya. No, we should not feel like that. Focus on yourself, okay? You finish school, go to college, go to work. And then hizi zingine zote, they'll just flow. Zita flow too. Zitafuta.
Let it flow.
Yeah, just let it flow. And remember, you are more than enough. Yeah, we see societal pressure, it can really get to you. It can really get to you. So just be you. And parents, let us make our kids feel it is okay being single. Si too precious, Hannah. We are getting there. We are definitely getting there. Yeah, tuko serious.
Okay. Should open a support group. I think for me, I remember before I got married feeling so faulty. I remember what she's talking about. I remember feeling broken, faulty because I wasn't married. But now that it's been 10 years, I would tell the younger me, can you relax? You know, it'll actually get there. However, just to finish, I would say loneliness is also real. And let's not intellectualize loneliness and say, I will bury myself in work. You are an emotional, relational being. Okay? So it's okay to desire a mate. You're not crazy. But there's nothing as bad as a good thing happening at the wrong time. Okay? You know, you can be 9 months pregnant, you're expecting a baby, but the baby comes at month 5, that's a bad thing. That happened to a very good process. So timing is important, but be real with yourself. It's okay to desire a mate. It's okay to desire a sexual partner. You're not crazy, you're not mad, you're not faulty. It's okay to desire a partner. Loneliness is real. And like I said, everyone that comes to my office comes because of a broken relationship. And this is what I tell people in the church. And I'll probably be short for saying this, but think about it. Adam was in the Garden of Eden. He had God, he had everything, but he was lonely. Why? And we tell people God is enough. God could have been enough, but he chose not to. He made us relational. Think about it. He could have decided, you and Adam, you and me, just the two of us. But he left a gap deliberately so we can be relational. That gap is still there.
All right. Pastor Chris. And then I'll give you all a minute each for your closing remarks, starting from you.
I will pick up from where she left at creation. Because initially God, when he created male and female. In formation though, he brought the man out first. Then he brought the woman later. And I think it's also significant to realize that God did not form both of them at the same time. So that you find completion first as an individual. And then you find the purpose in the relationship. So the man came out as a single man. So that if you were ever single at one point, you don't think it's a curse. Singlehood is not a curse. But then he said there's a better thing, which is that this man should have somebody in his life. So I'll agree with Kenny, like desire to be in marriage, but don't pressure yourself out of your singlehood. Keep the desire, but you must guide your process as well.
30 seconds closing remarks. Kendi, I believe those were your closing remarks. 30 seconds.
See you at the conference.
Let's go.
You have a question for me?
No.
I'm done.
Closing remarks.
I'm good. Thank you. So see you at the conference. Yes, you're welcome. We will talk about nutrition, we'll talk about finances, singlehood, parenting, to those when you're to aspire. So just, you're invited, all of you. Just come. We learn a lot of things.
The conference is waiting for each one of you at Nairobi Calvary Temple. And I'm taking this opportunity to welcome you. All the ladies of all ages. We will tackle everything we have said here.
Carol.
You're welcome for the conference, especially the young people like me. We'll be there for you.
Also, I'd like to welcome everyone for the conference. And one last thing I could mention is that in that conference, we'll also be handling what we haven't mentioned much, what kind of vessel you are. Looking at the women in the Bible, we had those, the good women that we can call vessels of honor, Kina Joanna, and others who did great things and created an impact in the Bible to the people of those ages. And you can also choose to be these other ones, Kina Potiphar's wife, Kina Delilah, all those ones. You have to learn. We'll be talking about how you can mold yourself. And if you're one of those Kina Delilahs, you can mold yourself to become someone else who can create a great impact in the world.
All right, Rev.
Vessel of Honor Conference, the place to be. from the 21st to 24th of November at Nairobi Calvary Temple. Please come, let's converse.
So it's free, it's open for everyone.
It is open for everyone.
So that I'm not short for
yes,
advertising.
It is very free.
It's an
we'll
open
give you
conversation
food.
for everyone. Okay.
Yeah, Buruburu Phase 1,
right.
between Kobil Petrol Station and Buruburu Phase 1.
All right.
Most welcome. Yeah.
Thank you so much for making time this morning. Kendi Ashetiva, the Reverend Jane Njeri Nganga, Christine Njeri, Rhoda Kioko, Carol Juma Oko, Rachel Jabi, Juguna, CJ Chris Etemo. Thank you for making time for this discussion this morning, and thank you for speaking to Citizen TV. Now you've heard there's going to be a women's conference. Let's see what you're saying on social media and on SMS as well. You don't leave a name or where you're texting from, but you say, what does the panel has to say about the current argument by ladies that they are independent and just need a child or two and stay single rather than getting married, that they only need to work around raising their children? Have the mic?
It's a lie.
Okay.
It's a lie.
All right. It's a lie. Straightforward.
It's just a lie.
Okay. You also don't leave a name, but you say, our wives are our best keepers. A man kept well will never stray. Satisfaction in both sexes brings health in the family. The fear of God shuns us from evil. The family component should be viewed in a godly context. Wise wives build homes. The lesser wise ones destroy their homes by their own hands. All right, let's see what else you're saying here on social media. That's on Twitter at Citizen TV Kenya. Trevor Mbija, hashtag Daybreak. Engineer Lazaro, good morning. It's good to hear from you this morning. The real challenge in the 21st century is beauty cosmetics. Some of them who like makeup are really confusing us. You can't be able to identify your wife kama kinyeshewa na mvua. Okay, Murugi Karaoke says teenagers ought to focus on building themselves, taking their studies seriously and cultivating the right character, because beauty fades and character is what one lives with forever. All right? All right. Thank you so much for having that conversation. I've really run out of time. It's time now for Web Wars, but this has been Daybreak. I'll see you again at 9 a.m. to talk about the news this time. Take a short break now.